Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner. In today's video, we got some work to do, baby. We're gonna tear into this thing, but first, let's spin that intro. Alright, so here we are. This beauty before you is called the Arbiter rig. This guy was our all-exclusive AMD build, and man, this thing, I'm gonna be really sad to see this go. But yeah, check out the video up above where we put this thing together, and man, we had so much money into this thing, but it was set up so beautifully and done so well. Currently it has 6 AMD RX 6700 XT reference model cards. We also had 2 6800s. We went ahead and pulled those out, I don't know, a couple months ago, and went ahead and liquidated, sold them. But yeah, the plan is to decommission this, man. It's a sad time. GPU mining is, it's dead. It is completely dead, and I don't ever see it coming back. So it's time to decommission some of these rigs and get rid of the remaining GPUs while they still have value, and then we'll eventually circle back, pull out motherboards, CPUs, fans, rig, I don't know. We got so much parts laying around. We got a graveyard dedicated to this stuff. But yeah, so again, this is the Arbiter rig. This thing used to be a beast back in its heyday. It did really well. Mine for me, it made quite a bit of money, especially when it was ETH times. But once ETH went away, you know, a lot of the stuff followed suit. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna tear this thing apart, but we need to go blow it out. So we're gonna take this thing out. We're gonna use our handy dandy XPOWER A2. If you need a powerful blower duster, this is the way to go for bigger projects like this. This thing only runs about 50-60 bucks, but it's a canister of air compressed. It doesn't run off the compressed air like those $3 cans that hardly blow anything, and then you just constantly go through them. This is the way to go. Then conversely, for smaller projects, we'll show you what we use. And for smaller projects, this is what we use. And if you don't have one of these, you need one. This thing is only about 20-30 bucks, and it blows a ton of air out. It's USB-C chargeable, has multiple speed settings. There's the speed settings on this thing, and it blows a ton of air. That's on the high power settings, and then you have the tip that comes off. They come with little accessories where you can use detail brush and all that. But yeah, I'll put a link down in the description for both of these guys in case you want to pick one up. But yeah, let's go ahead and time warp and get this thing cleaned and come back. Ready? Go. Pow! Just like that, we've got this all blown out as good as we possibly can for still being assembled. Once we take the components out, we'll individually blow them out and clean them out a little better. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start tearing this thing down. Man, so much money and so much time went into this build. We did really well with all of our cable management, our routing. This casing was one of the best. You could put like 14 fans in this thing. I believe we got it from AAA Wave, but they also later came out with some generic ones, made the same thing. This thing had 3 power supplies in it. We used an ATX to power the motherboard and core components. Then we used 2 server power supplies. We linked those server power supplies together so that you would push power on one, it would turn them both on. We also had a special cable that would do a Y split into both of those that we ran into one outlet. Yeah, this thing, it was a beast. So on the front, we had really good Arctic Delta fans on the fronts and sides. Then on the rear, we had cheaper up here fans, but they were RGB because we all know RGB adds hash rate. Let's see what else was the core components. Oh, this we used a splitter on this guy, the PCIe splitter, and it worked amazing for a really long time. Had no issues with it. We did a whole series on those. The power supply, the ATX, is a EVGA 750 watt bronze because it was just powering the main core components, the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, and all that stuff. So that was that. And then for our board, what do we have? It's got a single stick of DDR4, 8 gigabytes. And I'm not really sure what board's in here. We'll have to look at that once we get this pulled out. But so yeah, first things first, just gonna unhook all of our power supplies here. Oh, and yeah, since this is the Arbiter rig, as I said, we named all of our rigs after the game Halo. So we had Master Chief, we had UNSC, we have Arbiter, We had a couple other rigs and they were all in the same line naming convention. That way it's easier to find on our network and we knew which ones we were dealing with, and it was just a cool thing to have a theme all together like that. So so these are really easy to take out because we have the nice thumb screws. Those were great quality of life upgrades. We had the really good AAA wave risers on these ones. So yeah, there's what it looks like. And these are the official from AMD reference models. When they were really hard to get early on, we were able to jig our address. We kept ordering a number, and we actually made tutorial videos on how to buy these things when the GPU market was really hard to get any. And we got lots of views, lots of people used our methods and actually were able to cop these GPUs, and as well as a lot of the NVIDIA GPUs. That's kind of how we got our start on YouTube, and showing others how to actually acquire the GPUs and the hardware needed for mining. And then we went into tutorials and yeah, stroll down memory lane. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and time warp, get all of these guys out of here, and then we'll talk some more. Ready? Go. Bam, got them all out. Okay, so this is actually a Gigabyte Z390, and we used a lot of 390 boards, 370, 390 boards when we were doing a lot of our builds because you could get the cheap Intel processors. You could even use Celeron. I usually went with a cheaper i3 or something like that processor, 6000 series, and would slap one of those in there for that little extra firepower in case I needed it. But yeah, so there it is. We're not actually going to tear apart this guy today, but we are going to take each one of these and we're going to do a really good dusting, blow them all out. Key thing is whenever you do maintenance and you're blowing out a GPU, make sure you hold your fan still. If you let those free spin with the super powered air, a lot of times it'll make the bearings go bad in the fans, and then you've got a new host of problems. So we'll clean those out really good. And then depending on how bad the hardened dust is around, we might take a Q-tip and clean around each fan. And then the key thing is then we have to find each individual box, which a lot of them are behind me down here. Some are down in the mining cave. We'll have to find each one that goes with it. We'll have to individually list each one of these guys on eBay. And when we do listings, we've been doing eBay for a lot of years. And what we do is we make sure that we don't have our Asic miners listed at the same time as GPUs. And then we won't list 6 of these all at once. We'll list 1 or 2. Maybe we list 2 of these and do 2 separate listings. That way it doesn't look like we've been just crushing mining and we've got all these GPUs, because then you get lowball offers, you get people that are scared away by, is this a mining GPU? Now, if somebody asks us, has it been mined on? Yeah, we'll absolutely come right out and say, yeah, we used it for a mining rig, but it was temperature controlled, it was taken care of. We spend a lot of time doing a really good listing all the details. We'll state that it's a one owner, that it's been temperature controlled, that it's been well maintained, that they've been blown out periodically, things like that. And then we'll go and we'll look at the listings to find the market value. We'll go find what these are selling for currently on eBay. And then we'll see what the lowest price listing is for a legit seller. And then we're gonna undercut it, because we're gonna get rid of these. We don't need to set on them. We don't need to put these up for offer. We're gonna put a buy it now price. We're not putting them up for auction. Buy it now, undercut the next by 2%, 5%, and we're gonna blow these things out, get them to a new home where they can probably be gamed on very nicely, because they're all in really good condition and well taken care of. So yeah, it's a sad day. It's another rip to an existing mining rig. We've got one more to completely tear down. One more that we need to harvest the GPUs out of, rather. We've got 12 3070s, and man, it's the best rig I had. It was the Master Chief rig with the top of the line GPUs, top of the line 3070s. These weren't the cheap ones. These are the ROG Strix. These are the really the MSI gaming best versions of each AIB. Like these are stacked up. So unfortunately, that will be the next one to go. And then eventually we're gonna have to circle back and start tearing these things down, take all the fans off of them, box up all the fans, box up all the power supplies, box up the motherboards, see what's worth selling, what's not worth selling, and try to figure out what to do with all this mining rig e-waste. Yeah, sad times indeed. But what about you? What are your thoughts? Do you still have any GPUs mining? What kind of GPU are you mining with? What kind of value do you think I'll get out of these? 200 bucks? 250? I don't know. What are these worth? They're in really good condition with the boxes and everything. Tell us what you think down in the comments below, and I think we got a lot of work in front of us. So if you're new to mining, you need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord. Always plenty of seasoned vets in there willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride. I don't know.